Alrighty. Hello, my name is Ian. Sometimes I make mistakes, and welcome
Should I
back
clear
to
space for
Dishonored.
Samuel then?
If you like, but he won't use it.
Why?
He can't sleep in regular beds anymore, or that's what he says. Says he was in the Navy too long. Can you believe it?
Oh,
That pile of wood out there? It's a hovel he built from an old rowboat. Where does Admiral Havelock find these people, I wonder?
Cecilia seems like a good kid.
Lord Pendleton Memoirs, Chapter 27. In my 13th year, the despised stepmother at last departed, and Pendleton Hall was again quiet, although Father had by then sunk into deep depression. It was at this sensitive time that Waverly Boyle first entered my life. She who will be the source of many tender recollections to come.
So if you're wondering, those artifacts that were in my room are part of the DLC that I don't really intend to use, but Admiralty in the Fleet, there we go, Gav's Tale Volume 1, we know we've read that.
Corvo seems to have arrived in good shape. Much better than I expected, given what I've seen of Coldridge Prison. He seems willing to work with us, and he shouldn't lack for motivation. The man has lost everything. We'll judge how he performs in the field. And if I can, I'll find a way to test him personally.
One of the things I've been trying to be a little bit careful about here is not, like, spoiling anything. And I know that's, it's a standard consideration if you're introducing folks to the game, right? But I am trying to be respectful about that. I'm trying to be careful about that. So, it is something that I'm considering as I go through this, right? Now, granted, if you do watch this playthrough, I will go through this game in its entirety, which means that there are going to be spoilers. But I'm going to try not to spoil things, and I'm going to try and let them come up as they would naturally. Oh. You can see how we can pair our blink and our jump.
Due to risk of infectious contact, violators will be taken to the flooded district for treatment.
We'll go grab Piero. He's somewhere, I think.
Does part of the soul live in the heart? If the heart keeps beating, does that mean that the spirit is never released into oblivion? I can keep a heart beating forever with electricity, but what does that mean for any essence trapped within? It'd be easier if I created these processes in waking hours. I am uneasy pursuing avenues that emanate from my dreaming mind.
Havelock stopped in earlier, but I forgot what he wanted. He's waiting to see you, I believe.
somewhere in the basements below, hound kills hound, and money changes hands. Each and every night the black-eyed outsider visits upon Piero's dreams.
Guessing that's how we got
He is
this.
Piero Joplin. Even now he visualizes the next invention. Astonishing. I wish you could see it too. Poor Piero. His elixirs have cured so much for so many, but they cannot cure his brain fevers. The youngest ever to pass through the Academy of Natural Sciences. Sokolov will never forgive him that. He has spied upon Callista as she bathes, more than once. Each and every night the black-eyed outsider visits upon Piero's dreams.
Hence why I felt comfortable throwing a whale oil at him. So these fish will eat you. Let them. Oh, there we go. Hello. So if we hit our there we go. So if we go into our inventory here, we can double check things. Carved from the bones of great whales, these artifacts can be used to acquire, upgrade supernatural powers by those who bear the mark of the outsider. Lord Regent minted coins, that's very cute. 2614. Sokolov's health elixir restores health, use the quick access wheel. Or emergency shortcut to consume, use the quick access wheel to consume. Old rusty keys here. Strange artifact that appears to have a will of its own, leads you towards runes and bone jars, whispering secrets along the way. A silent, exotic weapon crafted from the finest materials used to launch bolts, sleep darts, and incendiary missiles. Light, retractable, and sharper than a razor. Pistol ammunition, very loud. Crossbow ammunition, very quiet, can sometimes be recovered from the bodies of fallen enemies. Crossbow ammunition that puts enemies to sleep after a short delay. Incendiary crossbow ammunition that will immolate a single target and be very, very loud in the process. One additional bone charm, one additional bone charm, one additional bone charm, one additional bone charm. I don't really care about these, to be perfectly honest. Enhanced stabilized crossbow aim allows you to magnify your view. Press the mouse button to... Yes, like I said, I've played through these. I've played through this game many times, and I've played through Dishonored 2 once. Does feel a little weird, just the lack of Dishonored 2 on my part. I suppose we'll get around to it when we get around to it. If we get around to it.
Such laughter, and they're singing the old songs, linking arms. But that was from a happier time. Samuel Beechworth went to sea to forget a hopeless life.
River's silting up.
He succeeded. The boatman has a good heart and respects you.
Strange little eddy here. Think maybe a riverboat went under?
Samuel is a simple man, but he knows the River Redhaven and all its tributaries.
Piero made a
down to
sextant
the
for me
smallest
once,
inlet.
but I told him I'd lost it. Truth is, I was never good at calculating.
He has many scars, some from the phlegm of the river crusts.
I wish I could attend services again.
Monsters.
The plague has everything shut down, and the overseers might have lost their way a bit if you were to ask me. Care more about witchcraft and the like nowadays than keeping common folk happy.
Samuel was once eager to hear Havelock's stories of the sea. But perhaps
I hate
the
that
Admiral
feeling
is not what he
when you're
expected.
bumping up against a body.
Samuel Beechworth went to sea to forget a hopeless love. He succeeded.
I hope you're well rested. The Admiral has some adventures in store for you, but only he knows the details.
Yes, I'm sure.
The other servants don't like her. Work is never done for the lowly servant. Her servant wages will not be enough to fix her father's debts. For all the hard work, there is little reward for her. If she lives until tomorrow, her day off, she will be mauled by weepers and left for dead. Do not pity the servant. There is pride in the job well done. There is not a day that goes by she does not consider taking her own life. The household is treated poorly, but there are worse ways to earn a coin. The pain in her back is constant. Nothing helps. Work is never done for the lowly servant.
Hello? Callista?
Deals are made here, sometimes under the influence of wine, and sometimes the influence is the point of a knife. Before the sun rises, they toss any casualties into the river, men or hound. They all go in. He spies on his neighbors and reports to the overseers. They top off the wine with river water, but eventually someone swoons. Then fresh bottles are fetched from the cellars. Only after a long day of work will he return to his home and family. He always eats very well, even as his wife and child grow thin. It is in the common man that the Abbey finds its most faithful. He steals from his business partner, a little every day. Some men can still find work along the waterfront. He didn't tend to that cut, and now it festers. A man is only as common as his dreams. All that he had was lost in the flood. Only after a long day of work will he return to his home and family. She hides her hands. They are raw and scarred from the washing. The common woman, she fears the Abbey and the plague. She is a seamstress in a shop frequented by the
Good day, Master Corvo.
Their fate rests on your effort, on the strength of your hands and of your heart. There is nothing common about the work she does every day. All she wants is to lay herself down in the middle of a Frommling street and await death. The fabric of the city is made of stuff such as she.
Lydia and I trade chores sometimes, and I'm starting to think I never come out ahead. She's a smart one.
She starves so that her children can have bread. The common folk, simple-minded, selfish, but they can be kind. She has only one dress, and wears it to tatters. The common woman, she fears the Abbey and the plague.
Interesting. I don't know that I've ever exhausted all the dialogue there for her.
They stood in a circle around the candles and cut their hands to form their alliance. The blood hissed as it touched the flames.
Let's get down to it. First off, I know that assassination is dark business, but sometimes good men have to do bad things to make the world right. Our purpose is clear. We want to restore Her Majesty's line by finding and putting Emily Kaldwin on the throne. To those ends, we'll hide, act in shadow, take them apart, piece by piece. Tonight, High Overseer Campbell dies by your hand. It won't be easy.
Is it
He's protected by his
Is that
overseers, an army of religious zealots. But if anyone can do it, you can. Your exploits are legendary. Campbell carries a private journal. Once you've eliminated him, get the journal, because we think it contains Emily's location. Recovering her is obviously critical, assuming she's alive. That's the gist of it. Remember our cause and strike true. We're counting on you.
Is it like fleshy
Another
Hulk
thing.
hands?
Campbell is holding a former overseer by the name of Martin. He's one of us, and if you manage to find him, give him whatever help you can. He's a master strategist, and he got caught working for our cause. It'd be good to have him back here at the Hound Pits.
Admiral Havelock has seen more corpses than all the rest put together. He has killed whales and men for profit and pleasure. He has the bloodlust. He tried to seize control of the military after the Empress. After she, the Empress, was murdered. Look at him. Admiral Havelock grows restless on land. There was a younger brother, an artist, sensitive, soft, taken at 9 by a fever. Havelock loved him truly. Admiral Havelock has seen more corpses than all the rest put together. He has killed whales and men for profit and pleasure.
Attention,
Yeah, I know.
citizens of Dunwall.
Oh, Corvo? Corvo. Hello. I'm Callista. I work here for Admiral Havelock. I'm sorry to intrude on your business, but this is important. I suspect you're going to kill the High Overseer. That wretched man. There's really no reason for you to listen to me. But my uncle, Jeff Kernow, still serves as captain in the City Watch. But he's a good man, and my only family. The chatter in servant circles is that Campbell just took delivery of an exotic poison. And I think I know why. My uncle's not corruptible like the rest of them. Campbell is going to poison my uncle. Do you think you could protect him? You used to do that, right? Before you had your current profession. Before you became an assassin.
Yes.
She is Callista Kernow. She has learned to defend herself in this treacherous city. She and her uncle, the last of the Kernow family. She dreams of freedom, and the decks of whaling ships fast after the beasts of the sea. But alas, she is a woman. Such sadness. She is Callista Kernow. She has learned to defend herself in this
I think we
treacherous
made
city.
it pretty clear. Do you have anything I could purchase?
What can I do for you?
Oh, you have a rune. Well, certainly let's be taking that now, shall we? Crossbow reload, that is a very handy thing. We'll take that, yes. Okay. We'll also take Corvo's pistol upgrade. And we'll take crossbow reload. So, we've just gotten a pistol. You'll see it looks slightly different from the City Watch pistols. A little more high res, to be perfectly honest. It can turn into like actually quite a good revolver. Powers. So obviously we have Blink, level 2. What I want is Agility, level 1. Jump height is increased and falling damage is reduced. And then, I want Dark Vision. Press right button to see in the dark and reveal living beings through solid walls. You can also see their fields of view, as well as visual representation of the sounds you make. Level 2 shows you important items through the wall, like security devices, weapons, ammo, coin, keys, or traps. So, let's go ahead and do that now. You'll see that there's a fish down there. You can see how much noise we're making.
When you want to set out,
Get used to that.
just give the word.
because making full use of stealth tools is
Ready to
important.
go? Just give the signal.
Yes, I'm ready to go. Let's go then. Take me to the distillery. High Overseer Campbell leads the city's militant religious faction and is a close ally to the Lord Regent. Campbell is completely corrupt and holds the secret to Emily's location. Infiltrate the office of the High Overseer, steal Campbell's journal, and eliminate him. An ally to the Loyalists, Martin, is being held there. Free him and allow him to escape. Welcome to the distillery district.
It'll be a rough trip. Used to be to go straight up Clavering Boulevard, but now it's not so easy. Half the city's dead of the plague. The other half's fighting over what's left. City Watch still holds the bigger streets, and they've set up those wall of light checkpoints. Man walks through one of those, and he ends up burned to a crisp. Everything not controlled by the City Watch is gang territory. Then there are the real odd birds living on the fringes, like that Granny Rags. They say she's nuts. Don't know which is worse. Just take your pick.
I love the boat. It's a really pretty, like... I guess it must be a motorboat then, huh?
They are burning whales. The boatman has a good heart and respects you. The doom of Pandysia has come to the city.
Let's go. It's nearly midnight.
The river rushed in when the barrier
Put them
broke.
in the boat.
The whole
Now it's
district
got
went
enough
dark.
shit in it as it is.
I will be glad to rest.
1, 2, 3, heave! Good. Keep them coming.
Bury him in seaweed.
I think that last one was moving.
What?
Yeah, the little one.
Not possible. I inspected them myself. Keep working.
Let's see, we
Well,
have
he ain't
runes and
moving no
bone
more.
charms. They abound. Sorry, shouldn't have done that. These fish could try to eat me if I'm not careful. Oh. We got our first real bone charm. Death in the Month of Songs. Excerpt from a longer work translated from Old Sir Conan by Anissa Matteo of Serkonos. She was shy in the month of hearths, hiding from my scented letters, a sun-dappled cure for my loneliness. She was smiling in the month of rain, eating figs straight from the tree, a dream of sailing around the islands. She was wed in the month of clans to her sailor cousin from Calero, a shrill bird drilling at my chest. She was dying in the month of song, struck by a terrible disease from the east, a terrible kiss on distant lips. Let's go ahead and examine our new bone charm. I believe... I have no idea which one that was. It might be White Rat's friend. I don't remember. There's so many bone charms here. I'll take River Affinity for now. And I'll take Good Lungs, since neither of those sound. particularly upsetting. I'll take Voyeur, actually. Actually, some of these are pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, I think these 4 are the most perfect ones for me. So we'll take them. Darren and Gwen. Well,
Keep them coming.
nice little swim in the River Thames. Arthur's note. Dearest Gwen, the city is going to burn. I've sold everything, so there's nothing left for me here now except you. I'll wait for you where Clavering Boulevard crumbles into the river where we used to meet. We'll take the money I've made and bribe our way onto a passing whale ship. I won't leave without you, and if you won't come, I'd rather be raptured. Arthur.
1, 2, 3, heave!
Sorry, I can't help you. I don't know this area well.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. The following businesses have been closed and impounded by the state due to contamination. Barrow's Barbershop and Surgery, the Duke and Dancer Ale House, Merritt's Printing Firm, Pennyworth's Tack and Saddle Emporium, and the Smoke Street Dice Hall.
By order of the City Watch, stay away.
If I was a birdie, I'd want to eat that. Yes, I would, indeed.
Oh. Plenty of bone charms and a rune. Yes, we do need that, definitely.
They've always gone on the left. You never listen. I think the little birdies are sad today.
Long ago, Granny Rags danced at court. Men begged to marry her. In her woman's eyes,
that's not a
she's
nice
fancy
thing.
trim,
Garbage.
velvet,
Garbage.
fresh and
all
yellow.
of it.
On her way to an evening of romance. Careful, she treads
I
with
told you
purpose,
the knives
and
go
is
on
not
the
as
left.
frail as she
They've
seems.
always gone
The
on the
children
left.
sometimes
You never
circle
listen.
Granny Rags, following along and taunting. She has given herself fully to the outsider.
Oh no,
Long
that's not
ago,
a
Granny
nice
Rags
thing.
danced
Just
at court.
Garbage.
Men begged to
all
marry
of it.
her.
Dear? Is that you, my dear husband? My eyes aren't what they used to be. Have you seen my little birdies? The dear things must be starving without their granny. Here, birdies. Here. Oh, my. I think I have gentlemen callers again, but not the way I used to, not the nice ones. I hear them, and they're not very polite ones either. Granny Rags, let us in. Ah, well, they'll go away again if they know what's good for them. But what a bother. Here's the key to the front door, love. You'll see to those ruffians, won't you?
I will. But not through the front door.
I told you the knives go on the
Let us in, Granny.
I bet she can't even hear us. She's blind, not deaf. We're here to do your washing.
I think the little bird
She's not stupid either. Have it your way. We're here to take your money, Granny.
I told you the knives
Well, now,
go
we
on
can't
the
be
left.
having that.
They've always
Can
gone on the
we?
left. You never listen.
She's been digging for 80 years. Must have found something. Hear that, Granny? Whatever you got, Slackjaw gets a cut. Nothing personal. Just Bottle Street rule. Somebody, get over here!
Oh gosh, we're doing this, aren't we? You dead? No, where's your buddy? Coin, coin, coin.
I told you the knives go on the left.
Sorry, I was trying to talk to
Oh,
her.
my dear. I knew you'd help me with those ill-mannered boys. My brave man. Listen, Granny has a birthday present for you. I got it from the outsider, and now I'm giving it to you. Go on. It's upstairs. On the vanity. I think you'll cut a nice figure with it. Remember how we used to dance? Our parties were even grander than those at the Boyle Manor. Everyone wanted to come.
He's not exactly
I think the
the
little birdies are sad today.
helpless old woman.
I hope you like the little gift I got for you. It's the least I could do for turning those louts away. I can't bear these Bottle Street children. Ruffians, every last one of them. Rotten apples. And that Slackjaw is the worst lot. You know what I just thought of? You could do something else for me. Another little favor. And I'd give you another present. Another lovely rune carved from the bones of a dead whale. Do you remember my doctor, dear? Dr. Galvani? Now there was a clever man. He's got all sorts of nasty rat guts and disease in his laboratory. Wouldn't it be a shame if some of that mess found its way into the Bottle Street Gang's elixir still? That'd teach him. See to it, dear. I'll find you another present just like the first. Galvani lives on Clavering Boulevard, or at least he used to. Those were the days. Now run off. My baby birdies are hungry. So precious. But they're shy. You'll have to go or they won't come.
We'll leave that alone for right now. And we'll grab the bodies from the street. Don't want them getting injured. Send us food, not bullets. Well, you know what time it is. It's time for a cuddle puddle. Hello there, my fellas. Yeah, time for a real nice cuddle puddle. Cuddling is good for the soul, good for the body, good for the mind. Just good. Good in general. Good for you.
Let me out. I'm fine. That's not what we heard. It was just a cold. Are you
check you over.
And there's an inspection fee.
To the void with Bottle Street and to the void with you. Let me out.
Oh, you don't want to talk to us like that.
Fact is, Bottle Street is here to take its cut. So reach into your pockets and let's get this done.
Yeah, and the inspection fee. We can't help it. Just the way we do things on Bottle Street.
What the?
Anyone there?
8th entry. It's the 4th day of the month of rain. Morris is sick and so are the children. I have avoided it thus far, which is good fortune, since it has fallen on me to care for them. 9th entry. The city watch comes and goes, knocking on doors and asking for signs of plague. Even our neighbors cannot be trusted. Earlier it was difficult to keep the children quiet. Now they sleep most of the time. 10th entry. The flies have set in. I try to keep them away, but I can barely get close. They sting so. Most of the time, Morris won't answer me when I try to talk to him from across the room. 11th entry. Morris is gone. I don't know what I'll do. For now, all my hope is reserved for the children. Leaving the flat for a while near dawn, I found some plague bags from a guard booth when no one was around. It took a while, but I got Morris into one of the bags. At least his face is covered. 12th entry. Robert has passed. The star of my sky is gone. Page missing. 17th entry. Elise stopped breathing in the middle of the night. She was such a headstrong girl, I can hardly believe she was overcome. She was always near as I cut up hagfish or vegetables, arguing with me about everything. 18th entry. It is the 4th month. It is the 4th day of the month of wind. It has settled in that they are lost to me. All of them. I cannot bring myself to call the dead counter. 19th entry. I had the fever. I have the fever now. No guards coming. Oh!
Anyone there?
Jeez. Ouch. The other reason why we want to tuck people away into nice little cuddle puddles is so that they don't get spotted.
Hey!
I owe you, brother. I want to ask about the mask. I wouldn't want my face seen either, pulling a stunt like that.
You know what? I'll return the favor. Come by Griff's shop. That's my business. Well, it was, at one time, but now I'm reduced to scavenging things from here and there as the city dies. If you need anything, I wouldn't mind trading for a little money. Maybe someday the plague will blow over and everything will go back to normal. But until then, it's scavenging for me.
Doing what they can with what they have. Take the eels and the whale and the hagfish. Leave the rats and whatnot. Let me see, what did I get there? Honestly, I can't tell what I got there. There are rooms not 60 meters away on a geological survey of the Pandician continent. Well, some of it, anyway. We'll snuff out the candles and read bone charms. Bone charms, a sailor's blessing, they say. The carving itself is a practice from long back, passed from father to son, old man Salt to Greenhorn still getting his sea legs beneath him. In the old times, men cut into the tusks of ice seals and into the arm-long fangs of bears that roamed the isles north of Tivia. Once the whale trade began, the practitioners went to engraving the bones of those great beasts, rendering charms that sing in the night and grant some small boon to a man's vigor or defend against pregnancy. Goodness.
At the academy, they cut the flesh of the dead and trapped the lightning from the sky. He was in prison for 5 years, then changed his name to Griff. No one
Don't worry.
suspects.
Those Bottle Street
Why am I
boys
so
have no
cold?
idea where I keep the best.
In troubled times,
Come by when you can.
fortune often favors those such as he. Griff offers as close to a fair deal as one can find in the eyes.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he knows who you are, but he will pretend he does not. The great ships have stopped bringing their hulls. An honest man? No. But his heart is not as black as some.
Will you stop walking?
What have they done to me? He was in prison for 5 years, then changed his name to Griff. No one suspects.
Want to look at some of the things I found? Good prices, I swear.
Don't lie to me, Griff. This is extremely expensive. Indeed. As we improve our craft, we get better. As we improve our craft, we'll get better at this, and as we improve our skill sets, we'll get better at this. Be able to blink further, move further, do things better. Bottle Street Boys, you cannot kill the rat plague. Dunwall Whiskey, a truly great name. Or the red X, or the red triangle, or the... Yes. Could go
Attention,
across
Watchman.
it, post
This
to left.
district is now considered
But
a highly infected area.
I think there's a better
Residents
idea.
are to be escorted to adjacent neighborhoods or delivered for immediate deportation to the flooded districts. Remain in position until qualified personnel have completed the removal of infected bodies.
Stick you in a hole where no one will find you.
Stupid rats. Plague. Elixir. Bunch of crap.
You can use the wall of light against them if you have a rewire tool. The somewhat nasty death it causes, but it is an option if you're into causing murders. I am not. So, I try very hard not to do that. Anchor Mouth Gulf map. It's pouring rain out, both in game and in real life. Shut that off, shall we? Have our bullets here.
Did you touch the door
the whole thing about washing your hands and covering your face and doing all of that. Standard plague procedure, really. But, you know, people get antsy about that, so...
All right. Campbell said to use rats to carry the plague.
Your friends are ignorant. The doctor is a brilliant man. If anyone can save this city, it's him.
The royal physician is going to save us. I hear his new elixir is twice as good against the plague.
I don't understand how Galvani can admire Sokolov. Royal physician or not, I hear tell he's a beast. A superstitious philanderer who spends more time with prostitutes than he does in the laboratory.
Is this what it's going to be like when we're married? It is, isn't it?
I hope not. I'm telling you now, I don't have the endurance for it.
Huh?
Dan!
What? Oh no!
Got you now! Someone help me out!
Well, I was going to try and sneak up on them with a nice little bit of blinking into place, but suppose that won't work.
Wait, did you touch the door handle to Dr. Galvani's lab?
Yeah, I think so.
Then you have to scrub. The rats get their vital essences everywhere, the doctor said.
Vital essences? Does that mean guts?
I think so. So your hands need scrubbing. You're unclean.
Unclean? That's nonsense. Can't we just...
No, I told you. With rubbing alcohol or white vinegar.
All right. What is he doing there all day? Ambrose says he breeds rats that carry the plague.
Your friends are ignorant. The doctor is a brilliant man. If anyone can save this city, it's him.
The royal physician is going to save us. I hear his new elixir is twice as good against the plague.
I don't understand how Galvani can admire Sokolov. Royal physician or not, I hear tell he's a beast. A superstitious philanderer who spends more time with prostitutes than he does in the laboratory.
Is this what it's going to be like when we're married? It is, isn't it?
I hope not. I'm telling you now, I don't...
Oh, no pretty in here. No pretty. Just the staff and the crew and the people. No pretties. None whatsoever. Come here.
I told her to keep the children inside. I told her.
Sorry about this, ma'am. Probably not your favorite thing in the world, getting choked out like that. That being said, you go sleep here. Be safe. See that we have some level of regeneration as we do this. So, tucked away into a dark corner, we have some sort of predator here. Burn razors or wire tools. Dear Mrs. Benton, when cleaning my study, I ask that you constrain your efforts strictly to the floors. Please, at all costs, refrain from attempting to clean or arrange my bookshelf. In fact, it would be best to keep away from it altogether, otherwise I'll have to reconsider the terms of your employment. Regards, Dr. Galvani. Since I'll be out of the city for a few days, I've left next week's pay as well. The bank was closed, so I'm afraid it's short by half. You can count on me for the remainder next week, of course. River crust and all of that. Galvani Academy notice. Galvani, the latest case should arrive within a week, containing all the components you need. Be careful with the white phosphorus. Can't have you getting fussy jaw like the tanners at the edge of the city, poor bastards. Sorry you have to practice in secret. The vivisectionist should be celebrated, revered even. Cutting up rats should be done in the town square with a crowd of eager students taking notes on some dirty little secret room hidden behind a wall of books. Anyway, lucky for you to have an old friend who never left the academy. Let me know what else you need, but remember it might be a month before I can put together another shipment. Yours in knowledge, Artemis Moore, procurement clerk and provisioner, Academy of Natural Philosophy, South Wing. P.S. Next time you're nearby, come in for an afternoon. We stayed fairly insulated from the plague, since so few come and go, and we've got quite the stock of Scythian brandy. Take the processed whale oil. We'll leave the rat. There's a bull rat fetus here. Lab equipment. Teacup. Various smashable bottles and things. A beautiful globe. 287, it says. At a whale. A butchering schematic for a whale. For fabrication. There's a fake book here. Bread. Nice little loaf. Sokolov's elixir, rat behavior, and extermination. Okay. Excerpt from a series of interviews with street workers by rat catcher Lena. Used to be, you'd go out with a bag, a stick, and with a nail on the end and catch as many rats as you could in a night. The city watch paid by weight. My husband Benjamin and I worked alone, and we got by. We found a place where the rats were real bad. Sometimes we'd hire a crew of street brats to work with us. The younger ones who didn't make trouble, we'd pay them with bread and apple cider. Once the plague came, the rats were different, meaner, bigger, and a little quicker. You had to watch yourself. You got cornered, they'd turn, and the swarm would come back at you. I barely got away with my skin a few times down in the sewers. The bites hurt afterward. It was the sounds they made that stayed in your dreams at night. It got more dangerous, and the city watch started paying better. That didn't last long, because after a while, too many people had been stripped clean, trying to fill up a bag. One slip and they'd be all over you, gnawing, trying to chew down to the bone. That's how I lost my poor Benji. The rat plague. For over a year, I've studied this cursed plague. Give me a moment. Collecting and dissecting rats by thousands, given their rapid gestation maturation cycle, it's been possible to breed them for numerous generations. The rodents themselves seem immune to the plague. They pass it readily between members of their own species, perhaps through mites. The blood of the rats tells its own story, allowing me to gauge the number of generations that a given group of rats have lived with the plague. As such, a nagging question remains. Rats collected in the poorest parts of town and the slums exhibit the oldest strains of the plague, while those found near the docks, where the foreign plague-bearing rats would presumably have entered our city, exhibit a younger strain of plague. Could this mean the rats were transported to the slums in some way that is not obvious? I will continue my research. If nothing else, I am living proof that Sokolov's elixir and Piero's remedy are very effective in protecting against the plague if one consumes enough of this stuff. Then we have a chamber pot and the Leviathan's Sorrow. Little is known of Picardi, credited with this series of pamphlets arguing against the whaling trade. While he is gifted, his views are nonsense and threaten the economic underpinnings of the empire. Oh, 1. Enslavement. On the breeding and husbanding of whales versus hunting the beasts in the wild after a natural and free life cycle, Picardi offers no solutions for where these massive malevolent creatures might be pastured. 2. Dissolution. Laments on the destruction of social bonds between herd members. Picardi actually uses the term families. 3. Harmony. Drivel on the aesthetic wonder of what is, in reality, the great and terrible ocean that ever threatens to swallow us, includes arguments on the gentle nature of the brutes, and a notion refuted by seamen who return to shore wide-eyed with tales of the whale's savagery. 4. Disruption. Here Picardi is on his weakest footing, issuing out feverish warnings against the displacement or transference of natural beasts from their native environments. A bit of a music box going on here. There we go. Pick it up and shove it in my pockets. Where it belongs. A series of butterflies. Got a nice well-lit segment here. Like a well-lit laboratory here, really. Sewer capacity in the month of nets. Excuse me. I've been asked to tell the problem, so here it is. Excerpted interview attached to a formal report by City Works Crew 17A. It's been every year that we work like men gone mad during the month of nets. I don't hardly see my family. It's bad enough the works is clogged with trash from the catch, pieces of crates and nets, but the water smells of hagfish guts too. We gotta get it done before the month of rain, or you know what. And it ain't like we get help from those pricks in civil engineering either. Been in this job for nigh on 28 years, and I ne'er seen one of them come below, except to measure will it hold when they go putting up with those fancy new bridges. So these last 3 years have been the worst, and here's why. It's the river cross moving into the works. We hear a man ahead yell and scream like he's burning up, and we all climb up fast. No other choice. Like how you can tell it's beat up. And then there's the wheels if you needed probe. There's a live rat in here. Fish. Yeah, that is a vivisected fish. That's gotta be a particular smell. Ugh. But what did this say? This said 287. Well then, I see no reason why I shouldn't head downstairs. first, why don't we go in here? Check to see if there's any of them fancy books in here. Ah, no, but I see a pair out. And I believe there is an upper limit to these and how many we can carry. And I believe it's something like 10. Sound of clockwork sets me on edge here. What did it say? 287. There we go. Yes, we'll have to get a little bit creative if we're going to do anything. Log, 4th day, month of wind, assorted human remains, strong appetite. 10th day, month of wind, 1 bag Tivian pears, bruised, rotted, rats uninterested. 11th day, month of wind, 1 tin potted whale meat, eaten. 13th day, month of wind, human torso, no trouble finding corpse parts. 17th day, month of wind, no feeding, aggression increased, incident of cannibalism. 20th day, month of wind, incident with previous maidservant. Will withhold feeding until 1st day, month of darkness.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Alright.
Nothing after all.
Yeah, no, nothing after all. Close. Very close. Third structure. Excerpt from a work detailing one of the 7 strictures. Oh my goodness. Restrict the restless hands, which quickly become workmates of the outsider. Unfettered by honest labor, they rush to sordid gain, vain pursuits and deeds of violence. What value are the hands that steal and kill and destroy? Instead, put your hands to the plow, the fork, and the spade, for even the lowliest labor that is rigorous squeezes the muscles as a sponge, rinsing impurities from the mind and body. Oh my god, there's so much reading in this. It's fantastic. Avoiding the rat plague. Give me a moment. I have filled up an entire page in this notebook. I can't wait till we get to the Elder Scrolls. Much of the public still harbors false beliefs related to the rat plague. It is not true that the bile from Rivercress will protect against contraction of the disease, nor is it true that crushed Morley orchids act as a remedy, though it is speculated that both these ingredients are used in both Sokolov's elixir and Pyrrha's remedy. Consumption of these products before exposure to the plague constitutes the only known means of resisting the disease. Further, the Abbey of the Everyman warns against superstitious practices. Not only is it ineffective to burn 2 hagfish and a cat together, inhaling the vapors while chanting the names of the plague dead, but it is also considered heresy by the overseers and will be met by the full measure of the Abbey's laws. Tell your neighbors and Witness these things yourself. Avoid contact with the infected. Consume your ration of daily elixir, preferably in the morning. Report anyone suspected of carrying the plague. Everyone must work together to stop the spread of the dreaded contagion. So many books. So many books. Wanted. Slackjaw, enemy of the city of Dunwall. Award of 2,000 coins for capture or death. The offenses of this man are high crimes under the strictures of the Overseer and the municipal laws of the city watch of Dunwall. The edicts of our brave Lord Regent in these times of peril. So many books. I'm so terribly excited. So good to have another game with plenty of reading. So I'm a little sad after Mass Effect. Mass Effect 2 really didn't have that much, to be perfectly honest. I think there were maybe 6 or... I think there were maybe 10 new... Honestly, I think there were maybe... Travel to Pandysia! Let me go ahead and add this to my notebook. Yes! Excerpt from Travel Chronicle by Anton Sokolov. The men I set out with are good sailors. No doubt half of them have cut their teeth on the rascally pirate ships spawned in the Circonan archipelago. Or they were, I should say. Half of them died before we sighted the broken red cliffs, welcoming those who'd visit the far continent, as it is called. Sickness, infighting, poisoned by a school, one would say a flock, of small fish that fly over the waves like birds, landing in the hundreds across the deck, pricking any they touch with toxic quills. 2 thrown overboard by gusting demon winds, the quiet Tivian navigator simply dead in his bunk, wrapped in white furs, eyes wide with terror. Few have crossed the ocean, and the distance to Pandysia is greater than most would imagine. More died climbing the cliffs, and now, with but a handful, I stand looking across the greatest expanse of land that exists. My allies are frightened, for this is beyond them, and now their captain is dead too, stung by something that resembled a prairie mole, but reacted with great apoplectic outrage when handled. So it falls on me to lead them. Ticking of a clock is a very uncomfortable noise in these games. Very uncomfortable. We'll leave those in there. Unless we find something we absolutely deem we must take, we'll leave those in there. And we'll leave these relatively undisturbed. Sleeping away the day. There we go. Probably don't need me to tell you, but crouching is important.
Obviously, the plague rat is distinct from the ordinary rat, but in what respect? Its size and the coarseness of its fur, and I believe in intelligence, although the experiments there are not complete. Coriander's Zoological Survey describes only the ordinary rat, which means plague rats have only been here for 5 or 7 years at most. This was not a gradual migration. Could they have been introduced on purpose? Perhaps by a foreign power.
Okay. Lovely. We'll finish up with High Overseer, I'll tell you what, we will finish up with, Slackjaw, and then we'll call it a part here, because I've done quite a bit of reading. Little bit of daring do there. Of course. Excellent work. Cloth cover, rewire tool. Disable security devices or make them work in your favor by using a rewire tool on the circuitry panel for the security device. Want to hack? This consumes the rewire tool. Rewired walls of lights, arc pylons, and watchtowers will harm your enemies instead of you, while rewired alarms will be fully disabled. Hey, drop point has changed. Leave it in the shutter under the bridge. If the elixir ain't there, you don't get paid. Well now. Isn't that fancy? Shutter under the bridge, they say.
Word is he's like a phantom, with an army of shadows in front of him. That guy down? Ain't he just a boss, like Slackjaw? No, this is one odd bird. Sorts with crazies, does rituals and the like, bone turns and such. You sound afraid. Damn right I am. Down ain't no ordinary man. Touched by the outsider he is, given dark powers. He can slit your throat across the room. Well, that'd give him a leg up for sure. It's no coincidence that most men won't even whisper his name. Is it true that he lives in the flooded district, with them weepers and wild hounds? That's what they say. Perfect place for a paid killer to hide.
I think not on grenades. I'll have a full arsenal of never used lethal munitions. There's a question this game presents, which is, who are you when no one can stop you? And when no one can stop me?
You got lucky. When you're this handsome, you don't need luck.
Well,
Face like a hagfish. Pay up. Don't be sour. Say, when's Slackjaw coming down? Not till the next batch of elixirs done. He'll want to check on things.
Then you better get all your shit together, huh?
Everything's fine. I run the still like I run a game of Nancy. Yeah.
Haters fired the first shot, but
anything
oh,
good?
Hatters fired the first shot, but Bottle Street getting fired. Who are you when no one can stop? Game masks. I think I rather like the answer. Please. Merciful enough to know. I don't need to kill everybody in my way.
Little bastard.
Heading to your piss corner there, buddy? Yeah. Oh, that scared the crap out of me. Ugh.
So he goes, not to the Abbey or the office of the High Overseer, but one of the other places, where they train the Overseers to be real Crazy. He just wants to know where his brother's going.
Oh my goodness.
You know Eddie. Boy in at it when he's sober.
I remember. Brimsley job, hitting the dumbwaiter all night.
Yeah. So he goes from room to room, kids sleeping, an overseer giving a lecture to the kids. A couple guys training with those hounds.
Stuff you'd expect.
But it gets weird. Some kind of machinery. Then a woman laughing, just laughing and laughing. Then music, a kind of plinky, plonky sound. That's what spooked him.
You sure he wasn't drunk?
Says he still hears it at night. He never did find his brother.
Well, a bit more reading. Excerpt from a pre-plague promotional book on products made in Dunwall. Across the Empire, Old Dunwall whiskey is not only the finest libation of its kind, but it's also an important cultural tradition. I'm just going to add this to my notebook here. And on a brand new page, because I have filled up, I have completely filled up the page that I was writing on. Across the but it's also an important cultural tradition among discerning folks, sophisticated and common alike. Captains moving their ship across the great ocean always have a bottle in their quarters for occasions. Fine restaurants and bars keep it in stock. Farmers across Bristol exchange Old Dunwall whiskey when healthy children are born. Some might disagree, preferring high-brow drinks such as King Street Brandy or one of the other brands from Morley, but sales of Old Dunwall have been brisk through the early years of Empress Jessamine Caldwin's reign, a trend that is expected to continue. Aged and bottled in Dunwall's distillery district, Old Dunwall whiskey is exactly what you want.
The nobleman laid the scullery.
There we go.
The nobleman's wife took the butcher's knife and carved herself a piece of blood.
A spring razor trap can be attached to any surface by aiming it and pressing right button. It will be triggered as an enemy approaches it, throwing up a cloud of shrapnel. These are basically mines, and there's nothing good that comes from them.
You win.
Well, I know 100 of these old rhymes. My mama used to tell them at me.
Yes, these are basically shrapnel mines. I have no interest in them.
Anything good? Huh? Damn it. What now?
I think not. No. Nothing good comes from killing people.
You win.
Well, I know 100 of these old rhymes. My mama used to tell them at me. Any fools settled in over here? Got anything to smoke or eat?
Yes, I can hear the beautiful thump, 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 thump of it. I can't access it. Not safely, not right now. Well, why don't you and I go for a little bit of a walk right now?
Not bad. Little bastard.
Let's see, what did we get there? We got Spiritual Pool, which is not a terrible one.
What?
Come on, let's get this guy. Where'd you run off to? Someone's about to get shaped. I know you're here.
No, you don't. Oh, high alert for nothing. Nothing. Ah, I see. We finally hit our maximum here. Well then, I certainly don't mind using the remedy here. We'll pick you up, and we'll carry you off somewhere. Somewhere safe and quiet, and without all the nasty little ratties. Cover family 4 doses, Cramlin family 3 doses, Braden family 5 doses, Golden Cat 2 crates, Bitterleaf Alms House 1 crate, Ed Knack 1 dose, Luther 1 dose, Black Sally 2 crates, Griff Past Due, Trace Flannery 2 doses, Pratchett family 5 doses, Nellie and Morrison Sullivan 2 doses. Attach an empty elixir vial to the spout, return the thing on, turn the valve on, collect the full vial, repeat until empty, do not break vials, do not spill any elixir, no free swigs. Not a bad style of terror they've got there. It's Slackjaw. Well, let's go ahead and poison the only free source of elixir for me. fine. I'm sure I won't be getting into any more scuffles, firefights, or anything. I'm sure I'll have perfect stealth from this moment onwards, right? Nothing bad could come of this. Let's see where the... Oh, I see you. Is that what? Oof. Well now.
The fuck are you looking at? Blow off, Chopper.
Oops. There we go. Up, huh, and away. The terrible case of neck strain going around Dunwall. Wouldn't want to add to it now, would we? Let's go return to Granny Rags and get our well-earned prize here.
I told him, peel it off. Peel it. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me. Now I can stroll along the waterfront in peace. And don't think I've forgotten your little gift. Go on upstairs, dear one.
There we go. I'm gonna grab that. 2 out of 7.
Be careful, Corvo. They call her Granny Rags. You wouldn't recognize her real name, or even the name of her family, but an emperor begged for her hand once, and rich young men fought each other for her favor. I watched her consider them all, measure their worth, and find them wanting. Then, she made a different choice. You're on your way to face the High Overseer, the leader of a great cult dedicated to loathing me. What will you do, I wonder?
Indeed. What will I do?
Shut the door. No peeking.
Oh, she carries sleep darts. Oh, that's lovely of her. So we know where to go if we need to restock on them. Still, we've been going for about an hour and a half now. I think I'm going to call it a part here. And next time... We're going to go deal with the High Overseer. And on our way there, oh, look at it, singing.
Look out, we got a prowler.
Huh?
Towards! Hit him! Damn you! Take!
Okay, that's a little rude. So we are going to drop a save here. We'll go ahead and grab whatever this is here.
Be careful, Corp. You're on your way to face...
So how do we get across from here without damaging anybody? Pardon me. All right. Yes. Well.
Dead? Cold as a whaler's gaff hand. 50 years old at least. This guy fought for the Empress.
Forget his old ass. I can't even remember this. We tagged it plain. Under Clavering Street is ours.
Come on. What's the take? 20. Plus 2 elixir.
Looked like 25 to me.
Look here. It's 20. It's 5 each, counting boo.
You want me to check your pockets?
Let it go, kid.
Don't call me kid. You think you can cheat me? Somebody get over here! Let's see what's inside you.
Go
down, you pig! That settles that. Huh?
I'll leave them there. Oh, hello there, my sweet. Quite pretty.
Huh?
We found this strange rune on the woman who used to sell pastries up the street. Not sure how she died, since the thing looks superstitious. We set it aside for the overseers. After your shift is over, take it to them for disposal or whatever they do with them. Don't forget.
Help!
Yes. Sorry, I keep thinking I want to call it, and then I keep getting excited and distracted, so... Probably a good sign, actually.
Huh? What the fuck?
Oh, what the heck? I would never do that to you! I want to hit you with a sword! You're gonna go to sleep now. Because you keep whacking me with a sword, and that's not appropriate. Also, I'm gonna eat your meat. It's fine, you're tired. You get very, very sleepy. You get extremely sleepy after a long, hard day's work, you know? Bypass the wall of light without killing anybody. Let's go to Holger Square, shall we? And let's call it a park here.